Hi, welcome. My name is Dale McCluskey. And on this video, I just want to take a minute to talk about the whole issue of training as it relates to change and how dogs, they don't make the distinction, they don't separate both training and life. And that's why, when I define training as a intervention at the relational level, that's what it really is. Because dogs are relational beings. They actually know whether or not you're truly fulfilling the lead role, or whether you're just trying to walk the fence, and have your cake and eat it too, so to speak, when it comes to continuing to connect at a overly emotional level with your dog. You're mirroring your emotions. So, it's really important that people start to, reconcile this. That they start to make the connection that dogs, they're all about the relationship. And so, when you're, trying to say, well, I'll just do the training, I'll do the 15 minutes, I'll do the 20 minutes of, whatever it is that you're doing, going through the various interactions. Oftentimes, if it's not changing how you think, okay, if it's not promoting leadership and then building off that to create relational change through influencing the dog's decision-making process, it's going to be ineffective. Okay, it's not going to create the type of change which is going to push back on wanted behavior at the levels that are needed. So this is where everything's got to come together. I mean, both, when I talk about structure, why structure is very important. It helps to give you take the pressure off, helps give you a break, and it's working with you and through you. And also, it's important to understand that because it's about the journey, it's about, relational change. And dogs are only going to give so much of the lead role over every day. It's like 1%, 2%. It follows kind of like a spectrum. Okay, that even it's important for people to even take a break from interacting at the intervention level. Okay, because just the fact that you're reconciling the information it helps to create change. So recharging your batteries, okay, your mental batteries is important. And when I talk about that, it means taking a day off, so to speak, from at the intervention level, which means that beyond feeding your dog, giving your dog water, and some just basic stuff, need to go on some sort of a date night, okay, with your spouse or significant other. Just totally think about something else. I mean, I have found through, when it comes to really gaining ground and insight and reconciling information, that the moments that happens in is during a time of recoveries, during a time of reflection, of just being able to think about something different. And that's when the light bulbs come on. I mean, that's when oftentimes I've had my greatest moments of being able to understand, and clarity is through the times that I've allowed myself to have that recovery period. So because again, training's tough. I mean, not training, but at the intervention level, it's hard work. Okay, it takes a lot of work, and but it's not meant to be that way. Okay, if you put the structure in place with using the crate properly as a relational tool, not as punishment, as a relational tool, and you start to really engage the dog through at this intervention level, where you're investing the time that you do have properly, you'll see incredible change. And at the same time, the stress is going to come off you. So I just encourage people to really step back and think about training from the context at the relational level, context of how dogs think about it as life. It's life to them. So you have to look at the process of change within the script of a journey. Especially when dogs have gained an incredible amount of power. You have to start to think different. You have to really start to rely on your structure Rely on the fact that you need a break. Okay, you need to make sure that you're recharging your batteries. You're giving yourself time to recover, and look at it as a journey. Okay, because that's when that all comes together. Um, because that's what it is. I mean, otherwise, your dog may not have any. By not looking at it properly, you may actually take away the hope that your dog has. Because oftentimes what happens is you often are the last hope that your dog is going to have. You give up on your dog, especially when the dog has a certain level of power. And you take your dog to the shelter and give up on your dog. That's it. I mean, that dog is not gonna survive. So it's really important. That's why I really encourage people to check out my website. Really look at what a show as what training really is. Because what it does is it's going to empower you. It's going to allow you to bring your dog from the edge, the very edge of a bad situation. Okay, that will take hope away. So this whole way of approaching training at the intervention level, what it does is it empowers people. It provides hope. So just encourage you, think about all these things. Now the big thing is make sure that when you're using everything to your advantage. The structure part, or make sure you recharge your batteries, your mental batteries. You have to take a break. Because it's all about the journey. So it's all about in relation to how much power the dog's going to hand over every day. It's not going to be that you could be doing everything right, but your dog isn't going to. So when you approach training, when you do the intervention, have your cup of coffee. Make sure you're in a good mental state when you're interacting, because it's highly focused. How I show, when you're creating relational change, you got to have the right focus. So, use a structure even to help with that. If you're not feeling well, you're busy, something's going on, use the crate. Okay, crate your dog, because it's all about, eventually that crate goes away. I mean, the thing is, everything there's an end game here. Everything has the journey itself. It all's meant to end up in a right place for both you and your dog, so that you can look back and reflect back and say, wow, that was difficult. That was brutal, but not so much if you're, like I said, if you're bringing everything to your advantage. You're using the structure, and you're taking the right approach. You're thinking rightly, and you're letting your battery recharge. Because the other thing is too, and you're reconciling this information. When you're changing how you think, the dog feels that. Okay, I mean that matters just as much. The dog will sense it, just like electricity in the air. The dog will sense that you're changing, and so before you even touch on your dog, the dog is already knows that you're in competition. So anyway, something to think about. Thanks very much. I hope you have a great day.